Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you hear me? Let's do this. Oh, Mike, are you on mute?
Dude, what a day. What a day. How was your day
Yeah.
today?
Oh, do you really want to know how my day is, everybody? Everybody.
We all would
So
like to know.
so my car's down for the count, and I've been having to Uber, and so I'm waiting for a ride so I can do an offsite appointment. But unfortunately, for those that may or may not know, I had a flood in my neighborhood, and the city was out inspecting the flood because, of course, they're trying to get themselves out of a lawsuit. We know what's going on. Well, the Uber driver saw all these cars and trucks from the city, and he deuced out of there. He literally pulled in my next door neighbor's backyard, and I'm like running in heels after him, and he just canceled the Uber. So I'm like already annoyed. Then after our meeting, I'm waiting for an Uber. Well, apparently the Uber driver didn't like the fact that GPS took him to the other side, other corner of a building, freaking canceled on me. And I'm like screaming like a mofo, going, guys, it's only 100 degrees here in Texas, please. Then I finally get picked up, but I forgot to do one detail, which is my shoe broke in the midst of all this. I get out of the Uber, fall on my ass, like hard. Like, thank goodness I am a thicker girl because it would have broken my tailbone. So that's how been my day. That's my day. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. And my day has been so busy and packed with things that I don't understand. Again, like a guy from the medieval period looking at a spacecraft. That's how I felt this whole week. And people were saying, "Did you get this done or that?" So honestly, I would trade. I would like to be knocked on my keister instead of having to deal with a bunch of stuff that I'm not qualified to deal with. Hell, with that being said, it's called opportunity, man. I'm not going to complain about being busy and having direction. And I've got a community of people who pick up my slack. That's the huge thing, because if it was up to me, I'd be homeless or crushing tin cans, and thank goodness I have people that surround me, do business with. It's been unbelievable. So, we got a packed, happy little show today, great people. There's gonna be a lot of bland bacon and saying going on here. Man, I can't wait. Um, we're gonna call the nuances out, from our northern friends. Well, uh-oh, what is this? I
Jody
didn't
was
see
my
that.
she was my lunch meeting, so she knew she saw my shoe falling apart, but she didn't see me fall on my you know what though. That she didn't see me on my keister. That's all I'm saying.
Keister. Yeah, we're gonna bring it back. Hey, dadgummit and keister, you gotta take a sip
Oh,
because
really?
if people
Yeah.
stay
No.
sober, they won't stay. It's summertime, man. All right.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh wait, I had to do it, guys. Whoop, sorry everyone. Mike said, "Dadgummit, take a sip."
Yeah, take a sip and roll that intro. Let's get going, man. We got us packed. I'm so excited. So
All
excited.
right, guys, let's do it.
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashebrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
All right. I was trying to see if I can get in here and play in the comments and not lose bandwidth, but probably not.
No
So,
time for
all
that.
righty.
No time for that.
Nope. No time for that. So, hey, let's go ahead and knock through announcements because these are people. This is not just announcements. This is not just stuff to that people are trying to sell that people don't want to hear about, right? This is stuff that's valuable. People are here, to forge relationships and friendships, but ultimately to do more and be more. We have valuable businesses and things that can benefit others, and we want to promote that. That's called business. That's how we pass through our value to others. And so I wanted to make sure that we highlight people that, and again, if I say it, I believe it. Okay. Nobody's paying me to say this and I don't believe in them and, sponsored by whoever because I need to pay my bills this month. I mean it. When I say this person is X, Y, and Z, I believe it until proven
100.
otherwise. And I've already been through their course. I've been through their thing. I've been a friend with them for months and months. So that's why we say this with confidence. And that also, that's why I have to thank every single person. And I see Kenny D is back. Thank you, Ken. Um, So we have to thank everybody because you guys make this possible. But when you're surrounded by such amazing people, go getters, people who want to network, people who, their word is their bond kind of thing, right? That's a southern thing, but that's what we're talking about. I love it every day. I just tell people what I want and what I'm willing to give in exchange for that. And usually, here's the secret. You want the secret? The
What?
value I'm given far exceeds and comes before anything that I can get from them. That's it. There's your secret. There's your $1 million. Go listen to somebody talk for 50 minutes, and there you go. Just wow the right people, wow them, and if they're not the right people, if you do it right, they'll tell the right people. I mean, I've clients now, clients later, and people who send me both. How can you lose with that, guys? If you're
Yeah.
if you're practicing the principle. So, and it's probably not the slide you had up, so I should have saved that for later. So who do we got? Who is the fantastic ham person that we want to talk about today? Because we got so many awesome things that are hitting.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Which graphic are we going with? Because the one I have is not what I think you wanted to talk about. So the
It
order. Do you want to just like go over what we had the original run of the show? Because that's where I'm kind of running with. Because like, what
I
order
don't
would you like
care.
me to go in?
Just throw them up there. I don't care. Like, hey, we've been doing this for a year. Just know it.
I know we're just gonna throw up shit because you know what? Last week you weren't feeling well. So can we talk about that first, sir?
Oh, I didn't even know I uploaded that. Hey, good for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, that so this was supposed to be last week when we were talking about 4th of July, right? Celebrating our Independence Day in the US. And this was the coolest thing. Like I've got the coolest little neighborhood. It's a little rural type neighborhood. And almost 260, like 260 degrees. You could just and there's like 12 fireworks shows going off all every night, all day long, all week long. It's amazing. Like, it is the coolest part about living where I live. It just lit up everywhere. And of course, we had a little hillbilly fun. That's the kitty. You see the kitty?
That's
The kitty Daddy
Emma
said
or
that,
little kitty cat.
yeah, the one that Daddy said, no, we're not taking it home. And you see who won that one, right? Pushover. Um, so yeah, I mean that's what I do for fun. I work and then we just hang around and just do redneck stuff. So hopefully everybody had a good week, good weekend. Um, so 2 weeks later, happy fourth. All right, what's the next one? Do we got one from like 3 Christmases ago that I can
Yeah,
talk about
no,
now? Or?
legit, legit. Well, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I'm glad you had a good 4th of July because also, like I said, that's when we got flooded. So no, I did not have a good 4th of July, and I fell on my ass today. So you're just like 0 for 2 for me,
Nice.
sir. Just saying.
Dude,
I
I'm
know.
telling you.
I'm miserable. I'm kidding. I'm not miserable. I'm happy. I'm happy we're all here. Everyone's happy and healthy. But let's a big announcement. Let's talk about this big announcement though first, because I don't want anyone to forget.
Yeah, and that's all the stuff I was saying earlier. Just remember that and put it to this slide, right? So that this this is what we're talking. During COVID, I couldn't go out and play like most people in their late 30s, 40s and up. So what did we do? We went on social media. Most of us didn't know what we were doing, myself included, and we just pitch slap and spam people because we didn't want to be homeless, right? And have to get real jobs or whatever it may be. So this was the responses. I just wanted to make friends. I was convinced 1000% that if I got to help people with my experiences, so problems and challenges that I've overcome, right? If I was able to help them do it in 3 months versus like a year and a half, right? That they would like me. And then they would decide to take a look at my business and look at the value I bring. All right. Now that sounds very pie in the sky, but here we are, right? Over almost a year and a half later, and what's organically just started as a group of friends, a ragtag group of people who wanted to put relationships first, who wanted to do big business in our way, and forge deep relationships with people that we know, like, and trust. That has turned into that redneck Camelot I'm always referring to, called the hounds of business. And lots of business has been done. We're still tallying, but quite frankly, it looks like it's over a million, perhaps. I mean, there's a lot of business going on, and it's all because birds of a feather flock together. So for the very first time, we are opening this up because I just can't talk to people one on one anymore. Quite frankly, the word has gotten out. You guys have made this community amazing. So many awesome people, like our guest today. Um, we're going to have this tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're in the UK or you're overseas, don't be alarmed. We're going to make it available to you after the show. So go ahead and register. When you go to my profile, you'll see the event. All right. Make sure though, there's a StreamYard link in there. You got to register. Simple. I don't ask a bunch of silly questions. I'm not like that. But go in there, click on it. Uh, if you're overseas, stuff happens, we'll work it out. But this is what I want to do is all these fine folks that you see in the hounds and the comments and all over the place on our post. I want to accelerate that. And I told them if I can find one more person like Raquel, Sia, right, all the folks here, Dean LeBay, right, if I can find more people like that, it's worth it. So we just want to do more faster. We've seen the value of this thing, and we want to just like rocket fuel, just blast this thing into it. So if you heard of the hounds, if you want to get a community of people that vetted that are going to help you and all boats rise, positive attitudes, man, you come to the right place. So make sure you go to my profile. Basically, everybody in here has posted something about it, so just go to anybody's profile, pretty much, and you can tap into that. So it won't be very long. It'll be 15, 20 minutes. We'll allow 30 because I like to talk sometimes, but we'll get you in and out. We just want to make sure that we get more people, more benefit, more help. This has been an amazing community. We want to make sure it just continues. All right, so thank you all for making this amazing, and can't thank you enough. And now, and you can help me with this one. This is our good buddy, CJ, Dr. Constance Leland, who apparently gets 500 hours a day instead of 24 that I get, right? Or she may just be a master of getting stuff done effectively. That's probably it. So go ahead and scan the QR code. Her course is going to launch. What is it? August 1st. And this lady knows her stuff. I love her because I'm an overly educated redneck. I've got 2 college degrees. And when I see a professor or somebody that's in academia and a PhD or doctor and all that, and they're doing things in the real world, I get so excited. And I'm not knocking people. I'm just saying that I've never seen somebody who was academia and doing things at the same time, like to the level this lady is. So go check her out. She does a live stream all the time. She's got great content. She's always spotlighting people. If you're wanting to learn how to become an entrepreneur or solopreneur, you're a coach, maybe you're leaving your career or you're starting a part-time business, a side hustle, but you're looking to transition secretly, right? This would be the course for you. Understanding all the nuances that come with business, how to file this, what's the difference between S corp and sole
LLC and all that stuff. 100%.
Oh my gosh. If you're an artist or you're a life coach or you're whatever you do, maybe you're a consultant, you probably didn't go to accounting school and business, you probably didn't do all these things. So, man, tap into this. Go check it out, scan the code. Believe me, a little bit of preparation and a little bit of knowledge can save a whole lot of headache down the road. I wish I had access to this. Go ahead.
Earlier, absolutely.
So, and this lady, man, this lady is a trip. Everybody told me, I tell y'all all the time, right? She even put it on there, calm, anxiety and becoming calm, right? I said, what is that? Hypnosis. I'm like, oh man, Bugs Bunny popped in my head, right? I was like, I don't want to do this. And boy, I am so glad I'm not closed-minded anymore because this stuff works. The stuff that she teaches is practical. And one of the things that she taught was the alternating nostril breathing. And it looks so ridiculous. But here's what I think. After I did it, it looks really ridiculous? Run around being grumpy all day. I'd rather do my nostril breathing and be a happy guy that people actually want to do business with. So Stephanie, she's going to have her course first and third Tuesdays of the month. We'll put that in the comments. Somebody will put the link to her course in the comments. It's real long, but go check that out. Who doesn't have a problem with anxiety or worry? Daggum, everybody, especially if you're building a business. Don't lie. All right, that's not the place for it. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that she's got resources. Her content is really good. You got to go follow this lady. And she's got a book. Her book is amazing as well.
Yeah, and her name is Stephanie Delfonso.
Didn't I say that?
No.
I didn't say her
That's
name.
okay.
All right.
You did it, but that's okay. That's okay. It's Stephanie Delfonso, guys. Check her out. She is part of the Hounds community, and you will be able to find her. She is just an incredible resource, and she's just been so gracious. And for anyone that is into ASMR and all that sound stuff, she has the best voice ever to calm you down. I love it. And she's actually joining tomorrow night with our special guest. So I don't want to give that away, but she will be a guest tomorrow night. So you definitely need to check them out with Soaring Prophets, who are our guests. So we'll talk more with them, and we'll get that going. And just to move us along, Mike. So just another shout out to our girl Raquel Flores. Rocky.
Oh yeah.
She is a critical core team member. She is a great resource and just a lovely person in general. Her shows are all on Saturdays. We do change up the times because, quite frankly, Saturdays are lovely relaxation days. And some days we want to go on earlier. Sometimes it's later on the day. And it largely depends on where in the time zone our guests are, because we've had international guests. So, guys, hit up Raquel Flores Connection Corner. She's amazing. Everyone loves her, and connect with her. And I know pretty much everyone here knows who Raquel is anyway. So let's just move on to the next thing here. So I know we talk about a lot of events and all that stuff. It's because there are so many great community members. So what I've done as a Hounds community member is I actually opened up my own business website to highlight fellow people who I just think are amazing. And so what I've done is I've taken their profiles, added on to it. And by all means, check them out, because I'm a big advocate of everyone having and shining their own lights. So you too can have your own brilliant beam. And when you combine everyone's Care Bear Power Stare, you will be able to, be just more powerful together as a crew. So on that note, when we are powerful as a crew, it's because we're largely doing events together. We are always building content with each other, collaborating with another, jumping on each other's shows, etc. This is something that we think everyone really firmly should do. And that's why the Hounds community is so unique, because we actually support one another and go to each other's shows when we can. We're all about hashtag team replay if we can't make things in real time. So really, guys, this is a great resource. In essence, what I wanted to do was, people get overwhelmed with their day. If you just saved brilliantbeingmedia.com/events, you'll know for that day what shows are on and what live streams and what content appeals to you. You don't got to worry about filling up your calendar with bookings and whatnot. You can check this out. Very similar to how you would on any content calendar for, like, I don't know, music and festivals, if you're like me. So rush that through, but I wanted to make sure we had time to introduce a very special guest, Mike, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And there's an apostrophe, but I think I let it get in my head. So let's bring up our first special guest.
Very much the
Is it
beautiful Miss
Miss
Renee.
Renee? All right, the
Hi.
apostrophe threw me off. How are you today?
Hi, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you all for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. So you're here because I saw you. I saw your picture on Raquel's Connection Corner, right? And so
Correct.
you're looking for a career, right? A new job. Is that it?
Yes,
Well,
yes. I'm
I'm glad.
actually. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because all I know is this, and I want you to fill in the blanks for all the fine folks watching. I know that you're a remarkable executive clinical director, right? Not my words, someone else that has credibility. And but driven by, well, first of all, you're an Air Force veteran, right? So hey, hats off to you. All right. Thank you for your service. That is amazing. Says a lot about you and your driving character. Um, and fill in the blanks. What did I miss? What's your background? What are you coming from?
Yes, so no, it's just truly an honor to be here and part of the Hound team. I'm excited to be showcased today because I'm really interested in pivoting roles to a new opportunity from a local influence to more of a global impact. And you ask, what does that mean? I've had the privilege of being the innovative architect, if you may, and local health authority for the third largest jail in the country, and that's in Houston, Texas. It's Harris County Sheriff's Office. My sphere of influence spans over approximately 10,000 to 10,500 incarcerated residents daily. That's about 3 meals a day, over 1,000 clinic visits in 24 hours, well over 150 million budget, and various mental health and behavioral health needs, and to include rehabilitation with the goal of decreasing recidivism. I collaborate with advocates, commissioners, courts, judges, and city and county officials, federal organizations, and the scariest of them all, mommies, right? I also am responsible for the health and well-being of over 3,500 employees, to include educating them, training, occupational health needs, and daily questions. I've enjoyed all of this, and I want to make a greater impact, and it's time for me to exercise my purpose in a bigger way. My motto is, a healthy tomorrow starts today. It is a fundamental belief and a passion for me to make a salubrious future for our children. My goal every day is to ask myself, what can we do to support this, and get to work? This can span from a zero suicide focus to ensuring clean water and or educating on the next pandemic, right? Such as you were out for COVID. I'm the person for the work because I have the skills. I refer to myself as an innovation architect, as I said earlier. I not only support innovation, I believe my role is to design and create opportunities for innovation within an organization. I play a crucial role in identifying areas for improvement. I foster creative thinking, implementing strategies, drive innovation. I design frameworks, processes, and structures that enable and support innovative initiatives. These include collaborating with various stakeholders, facilitate ideation, and guide the implementation of innovative solutions. Overall, my focus is on shaping a culture of innovation and providing the necessary direction and resources for transformative change within our community. When it comes to resilience, I like to refer to myself as I have bounce back power. This lies in positive impact it has on any organization. I embrace and leverage my bounce by demonstrating the ability to adapt and recover quickly from setbacks, challenges, and our changes in ever-evolving business landscape. As an executive leader, seizing this strength of my bounce means several things. That means I can navigate uncertainty with composure, maintain a positive attitude, and inspire others to do the same. Overall, I serve as a catalyst for growth, innovation, and thriving work environments. And as far as team, my resilience serves as a source of contagious motivation and encouragement for my team during difficult times to perform at their very best, even in the face of adversity. My question to you and our listeners in on today is, who do you know that I need to know? You can support me in my ambition by connecting me with those people. That would include people in public health, health departments, executive leadership, healthcare, CDC, Department of Defense and Environmental Readiness, emergency response. And if any of our listeners are wondering, could this be a good connection for her? Go ahead and connect me anyway. I'm reaching for a goal of 500 connections, so help me get there. So again, I want to thank you, Mike, Sia, Raquel, my new partners that just jumped on, and the Hound community for this amazing opportunity to connect with you all. So thank you.
Wow. So thank you. Oh, gee whiz. So first of all, we got to work on your smile. Right? We got to work on your presence, right? Wow. So I can tell that all the things you said, you've actually done it, right? You just come up here. We haven't met before. That is impressive. Here's what I'm going to do. You're going to take my show over. How about that? How about you're going to interview the fellas. All right. But hey, one thing I do have a bone to pick with you, Renee. I do got a little bone to pick with. Did you say salubrious? Is that what you just said on my show? You gonna make me. What did you say? I wrote it down.
Salubrious.
Okay, don't say that stuff around me no more, because I can't Google it. I'll mess up the computer. All right, so tell me after the show what that means. But it sounded good. I like it. So here's what how do people find you? There's a QR code, but here's what I like. What gets you up in the morning? What drives you to do all of these massive things? Because you and Dr. Constance, man, I can tell y'all are monsters. Like, I feel lazy just listening to you, and I'm work hard. So, what is it that drives you? Because you love people. Like, you're a servant heart.
And servant leadership. You said it. That's my prophecy in life. It's servant leadership, and I just want to help people. I've seen so much change in the community and need in the community to where we just all need to band together and just pull it up. And if we don't take action, if we don't have opportunities like where you're reaching to Canada, that we're reaching to the UK, we don't have opportunities like these. we can't make an impact, a great impact. But if we can all band together, we can move forward and make a better future for all of our children.
I'm
Okay,
laughing
all right.
because the
So
Canadians in the background are like nonstop texting, and I'm like, can you please stop? Because it's like literally going over some of my controls here. They're out of control, these Canadians. They try to set our country on fire, apparently, from their own neck of the woods. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying, Renee? Crazy.
Right,
y-
right.
yeah, yeah. No, and you know that's a good point. We shouldn't have them on because I couldn't breathe like last week because of them. So, hey, Renee, you were fun, and if you want to be a hound, I feel like Oprah, man. Everybody gets to be a. You get to be a hound, and
I'm
you get to
already
be
a
a hound.
hound.
Yeah, hey, yeah, absolutely. So make sure that you hit me up after this, send me a DM, carrier pigeon. We'll get you set up, man. I love your heart. I love what you're about, and go connect. Go show love on the comments of her post. Spread the word. Uh, good people, and obviously she's got a resume like Tom Brokaw for Pete's sake. So like, there's nothing here
Thank
that you
you.
need to wonder. It's just who do we know that could refer her to someone else, that can refer her to someone else and introduce them, that can land a win-win position. So thank you so much, Renee. Man, I'm excited now. I was going to sleep. Now I'm pumped. So I'm gonna need to be to handle these guys over here that's coming. So whoo. All right.
You
So
rock,
any
Renee.
last
Thank
words? You got
you.
anything else?
No,
No, I just thank you for the opportunity. Remember to connect me.
all right.
Hey,
Thank you so
I'm a tag.
much. Woohoo, everyone, thank Renee.
Man, that was fun. And Trevor, she said another word, but I was like Windows 95 when she said when she said salubrious. I crashed, so I didn't even hear nothing after that until it restarted. For, one syllables again.
There's literally a meme for that where it goes done, like the Microsoft like blue screen of death, like done.
That's- Dude, yeah. And then you got the gremlins, the Canadian gremlins back here messing up
Dude,
the things.
you guys, they've got
Love it.
they're blowing up the private chat so much it's constantly blocking some of the controls. I'm like trying to minimize it, and they're like, "Nope, we're gonna do more." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, these guys are crazy. Should we just bring them up because they're driving? They're driving. I think they're getting a little edgy.
Yeah.
These ones, they're
Oh
getting a
yeah,
little
dude, these
prickly.
guys.
Oh my god, I can't even pull them up. Raki, you stop texting too. Oh my gosh, these people.
Wow. I feel like we're the comic relief. You know, like the Shakespearean play where they have all the classy people, smart people, and then they have the people that come on for the bullpen, and we tell the racist, the racy jokes. We're I don't even know how to follow her. Like I feel like we
Oh my
shouldn't.
God.
I feel like it's just going to prove that we're not intelligent.
Yeah.
I'm worried because I'm not going to use any words like the word that she said that I don't even know how to say.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
Hey,
there
let
was
me
some
add
good
to that
words.
real quick. Let me add to that. So the next time I see somebody on Raquel's show, I'll be like, you can't come on my show because they're all hyper intelligent people. Like they're all insanely intelligent people. And I got to get a daggum thesaurus out to find out. But again, all jokes aside, I love this. I mean, to be in a position to be able to meet folks like this. And I met you guys the same way. It was somebody else. Matter of fact, in this case, it was Michael Gale. You all reached out to me, and honestly, I was about to block you and throw you to spam, man, because that's how since I'm an old man, I'm like Gargamel now. Like the Smurfs are bothering my email, and I just block it. And then you all said Michael Gale, and again, we joke about that, but think about the power of this.
Yeah.
If you hadn't said Michael Gale, none of this would happen. So there's a lot of lessons that we can unfold together tonight. But the power of good people with credibility introducing and quite frankly advocating for. Michael Gale was like, no, these guys were fun, they're great. He said the same thing, good things about me. Here we are. None of us were wrong, right? That's the key, right? Nobody lied about it. Um, and it's continuing to go. I would say like a forest fire, but that's in bad taste right now. So I will say it's contagious like a positive cold virus. I don't know what the hell, but you follow what I'm saying. So go ahead and introduce you because these folks here's what's fun about you guys. You guys came out of nowhere, out of absolutely nowhere. Y'all might have had like 4 weeks. I don't know. Y'all have not landed. Y'all didn't know LinkedIn. You were brand new. You had like 2.5 followers, blah, blah, blah. Right. And dude, I noticed y'all. I seen it. And here's my internal thought. Wow, I'm glad I found these guys before anybody else did. That's what I think every single day in the hounds, right? So, Patrick, all right, tell us a little bit about you and why you busy guys who really you don't make money on this. You don't do it. You just so tell us who you are and what prompted you to spend more time out of your busy day to push up others on your live streams and
Well, yeah,
podcasts.
Mike, exactly. And you nailed it with that. Is that so our story at Soaring Profits is that we decided to come up with a podcast after, I don't know, James, how long was it? It was months, if not years, that we were talking about it. You were like, Patty, we got to do this. Because we would go places. We would have these really interesting conversations ourselves. I tend to be a little bit more conservative in my political leanings. My partner in crime here, he tends to be a little bit more liberal leaning. We have those battles. And during COVID, we had these, well, the world hated everybody. If you were on the other side of the fence, you were a bad news bears type scenario. And we just had to have them. We would have these conversations, and it started us on YouTube. We were doing these little cartoon characters in the metaverse, and we thought, what are we doing? And we started trying to increase our production quality. We trying to figure out what's next for Soaring Profits, because we were just kind of floundering. And we came across Michael Gale. And Michael Gale introduced us to you lunatics. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that this beautiful little cult that you guys have created to foster and grow people, it's fantastic. And what you folks are building here and the opportunities that you give us is amazing. And that's where we are right now, enjoying everything that you guys have to offer and experiencing it. And I want to thank you guys for having us tonight. And I'm sure James, he can pipe into some of the stuff he does. But my background, I'm kind of the financial guy. James is a little bit more the touchy-feely. He's lost a lot of weight. He's done this personal transformation in running. I do finances. So my background, I've been an entrepreneur since I was about 17, 18 years old with my father. My father was a horse trainer, bought and sold businesses over the years. They had paint and decorating franchises here in Canada. And that's where I kind of cut my teeth in business. The first business that I started was Ahern Saddlery, and it was an import-export business where I was bringing products in from all over the world. And then I was doing trade shows. So when I was in college, I'd be doing macroeconomics in business, and they'd be like, well, what are we going to examine you on? Because you're doing a trade show this week. So the first couple of years of my education, I didn't do exams. It was a really cool experience. So what Soaring Profits is now is that, and James will touch base on his piece again, like I said, but our whole process is that you've got to get your mind right. You got to get your body right, but you got to get your money right. You got to get your finances in order. So I talk a lot about what's going on in the macroeconomics of the world, what's going on in the stock market. We do a lot of stuff with trading. I have a pretty decent multifamily rental property portfolio of multiple properties that I own, as well as doing the stock market and trading. And what I'm hoping to do over the next little while here is take individuals, work with them, and show them that with a very small account size, with very small investment, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't have to be a massive endeavor to change your financial situation. And we don't have a product. We're not asking you to buy anything. There's no subscription. I don't have a book. Just tune in on Thursday nights. We talk about this stuff, and I think we're changing lives. James, maybe you can talk a little bit more about what you're doing and how you're helping people too, pal.
Hey, hold on. I got to put a pause in here because right now the count is 8 boots and 2 processes. All right. So can you beat that? Can you beat that, James? We're counting on you. We're banking on you. All right. Get the timer ready and go.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can top that. Pat's really all about the abouts. So I may not be able to say them so much. So yeah, Soaring Profits came from a dream I had. I always wanted to be in the theater, on TV, doing a bunch of things. And then I met Pat. And Pat and I would spend hours debating topics about politics, religion, and people started gathering around us. And they started listening, and they started getting involved, and they started getting angry. And at the end of the day, Pat and I were like, baffled why everyone was so angry about a conversation. It just shocked us. And I think because everyone started loving listening to us, I just knew there was something. I knew that we had something together. We're such a tight-knit group. Pat and I were good friends. We've been through a lot of tragedy and good times together, and we've helped each other out a lot. That I knew we had to be on a show because people would listen. I'm always been about uplifting other people. I've always been about every day, whether it's to say, hey, I really like your scarf, or wow, I can't believe how well you paint. I've always, from the time I was a small child, wanted to uplift people. And that's what Soaring Prophets is about. We're all about helping, getting out other people's messages. Every Thursday, we have like a glorious person. We had Mike on, we had Sia, we had, did we have Raquel? I don't
You're on her show.
We had Raquel on her show, but she hasn't been on ours yet. And every time we do a story like Jody Lamb, there's been so many. It's all about how their journey through adversity into, you know, the beautiful butterfly that they are today. And people watching love it because, you know, they have their own personal stories. They have their own private tragedies that they may be stuck right in the middle of it just right now. And they get to see someone who, you know, maybe was in a car accident and had to recover for that and has recovered well. Or maybe they were sexually assaulted and they had to recover from that and recover from addictions. And these people are doing it. They're making a difference in the world and they're changing lives. And really, they're not getting a notoriety because they're doing it behind closed doors. And we are like, you know what? No, it's time for you to come outside and tell everyone that your message is important and that you're helping people and you're going to help other people. And I just love it. Every Thursday, I get excited about who we have. Actually, this Thursday, we have Stephanie, the wonderful hypnotist, also Delfonso, ex-DJ with, you're right, melodious voice. Every time I hear her voice, it's tingly. It's like the SMR. And you know what? I think if you can come out, check out our show. It runs about an hour long. It's just a good conversation, getting to know someone. I always say to the guests that come on, picture yourself, you're at a bar and these two, the good looking old man come up to you and the young, well, you know, one day he'll grow into and his gangliness and be pretty. We come up and we go, hey, what's your story? Who are you? And that's just what it is. We talk about politics. We talk about whatever the guest wants to talk about. It's the guest show. And I hope you can come out and join us because I know I love what I'm doing and people seem to like it.
Dude,
hope that works
hey,
enough.
all right. So, yeah, hang on. Let me unpack this because this is great. Like, I was worried we wouldn't have something to talk about. That was stupid. Right.
Oh.
So, first of all, we got a crown. All right. Because we just had the boot off champion. Because it was how many was it? 8 boots versus 670 million boots, and so you win, James. The whole and she said he said a boot, like, you know, dadgummit, take a sip. Now everybody's done passed out because you said so number 2, the Great Awakening. I don't know what is going on, and I don't pay attention to things a lot of times, but I've seen a whole lot of people, and this is the fun part. Is people who are respectable, credible, people who have led things, right? And they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like we're just tired of being told we can't have those hard conversations or that you're bad if you have a tough conversation or, you know, you can't share too much about your weaknesses or your challenges because nobody's going to, you know, think you're credible in business. Man, I'm so sick of it. Now, I also don't subscribe to being a little, you know, weak and whiny and self-pity. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So this is what's fun to me is that I'm finding people like you all, and we're all finding each other like magnets because we're not that. To me, I don't know. What's your take on this? So do you think that COVID? What do you think contributed to this kind of mental health kind of, hey, let's drop the facade, let's share the knowledge and the experience versus, you know, being judgmental and holding it in, right? What do you think?
Mike, I think, you know, you nail that in such a unique way because I bring so many things back to COVID in regards to exactly what you're saying. COVID brought out an era where you weren't allowed to disagree. You weren't allowed to have, you know, differentiation of opinion. And if you did, you were either a pariah in your friend circle or your community. And that, you know, we're finding out later that maybe that wasn't the best plan for our communities, our children, our families, all of those sorts of things. But I also come back to the fact where it's like, it's still hot button topic to talk about. Like to have this conversation right now, there's going to be people I'm sure that watch us that are like, oh, tread light. And that was our whole process is that we don't want to do the light treading stuff. We want to have the hard hitting things. And if you can do that, you get to reality. The conversation is valid and you can enjoy it. Pick your big podcasters. You know, there's this silly stuff that you waste some time with while you're sitting in the aisle somewhere, maybe, or out on a jog. And then there are those guys that you kind of turn to, of like, they become thought leaders. They kind of have a message that they're driving. And I'm not saying that we're there, obviously, but if we can create an environment where people feel comfortable having real conversations and pulling back the veil a little bit of what society is telling them they're supposed to think and say, I think we're all better off for that.
Dude, hey, real quick before I go over to James, that is exactly what I was thinking, man. You hit the nail on the head. It's so big, like really big podcasters, news outlets, etc. That's all driven by ratings and money. What I love is people are coming up closer to that level, like people, just regular old people like us, who have real conversations. Like, we're not getting paid billions of dollars to talk about these things. Like, we actually care about them. We have authority in it. We've experienced it. So, and people are listening. See, that's the thing, right? I don't have a multi-billion-dollar TV network, but people still tuning in on little old LinkedIn to see little old redneck spotlight and showcase people and give them value, right? So what's your take on this, James?
I have so many takes on it. So my main take is that at some point we lost sight of what real freedom of speech is, and we shut down people without allowing them to talk. Pat and I talk about our dads. We have similar fathers, even though he's younger and I'm older. Our dads were very similar, that you could talk about anything. We would literally sit around the dinner table. I know he did too. And you'd have arguments about religion, politics, sex, whatever you had to talk about. But at the end of the day, you knew you loved each other and you respected each other's opinion, and maybe you learned something. I think it's ridiculous to shut down every conversation. Like, I think it was ridiculous that no one was allowed to talk about COVID, that you only were allowed to have one opinion. I think it's ridiculous that we can't talk about certain religions or can't talk about certain sexualities without everyone getting upset. That's how I learn. That's exactly how I learn. And that's the reason Pat and I get along so well, is we learn from each other. He and I have very, very off camera, usually heated debates where, we don't get angry with each other, but we raise our voice and we try to drive our point home. And at the end of the day, both of us come out stronger because both of us have slightly variant opinions, because mine's right and his is wrong. And slowly he comes towards my opinion and he learns. And you mentioned something about the mental health stuff, that, you don't want to be a little, weak, seen as weak. What Pat and I call it is victimhood. I think if you go as far as victimhood is woe is me, this has happened to me, and that's all you do, that's not okay. But I'm a firm supporter of, like, I see a counselor. I've suffered from mental health. I suffered from overweight. I don't see that as weakness, because I'm working daily to overcome it. I'm working daily. I'm talking about it. I'm sharing those stories, and I'm trying to raise other people up with those stories. Don't be afraid to talk about it. What you need to be afraid of is not acting on it. If you're just saying, you know what, I suffer from mental health, and so I can't do anything, that's a victim. But if you're saying, I suffer from mental health, but I'm working on a plan to make it better, and I do that every day. And I think that's the important distinction there.
Right.
Yeah, no. And I think I can't remember I heard this. Do you want to get well? Like, that's the first question. If I was a doctor, that's what I would ask, because I know people that they need to get well. The doctor's trying to tell them how to get well, or the counselor or therapist, they don't really want to get well. Like, and that's what I'm thinking is the calling card. We're not judging, but we're saying, hey, if I can do it and I can open up about this, you can too, because it was I'll be honest, man, the shame and thinking I was the only one that had these kind of issues or depression, or I was weak or defective. And, then I meet a real man that says, hey, no, I am too. Like, I met a cage fighter. It's like, I struggle with depression. I'm like, well, now I don't feel like he's not a sissy. Yeah. He'll knock me out, right, if I say it. So I think the stigma is starting to drop. And back in the fire department days, like, you can see this really start to take over, man. Like, firemen, we're not sissies, but boy, we would not we would not talk about this stuff. I mean, we wouldn't even talk about it halfway to each other. And that's why you got a lot of alcoholism and things like that running through the, the fire service stuff. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see people. Sia, you're just not a pretty face. What do you think about some of this? That, and the polarizing part, that's what woke me up, because I've always been kind of, surprisingly, right, in my own beliefs, kind of a little more conservative on a lot of things. But when COVID erupted and all the chaos, I found myself in that 80% of the middle. I was really upset with anybody who was on the dead ends of the polarization. It really upset me, because in that, there's a lot of rationale and logic that just went out the damn window. You know what I mean? Like it was all or nothing. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? And oh, by the way, in Canada, y'all really, because I turned the TV on and I saw y'all, and I'm like, wow, y'all, woo, that is worse than over here.
Right.
But one of the things I noticed, I want your input. When I turned the video on, I saw all these rioting and all this stuff going on. When I turned the TV off and I walked around my neighborhood and I walked around the city and met people, it's not what they showed us on the news, right? Like, and that's when I realized, like, oh wow, both sides of the far extremes are really kind of like in the middle where 95% of the regular folks live. It was, we had trouble, but it wasn't like we were seeing, right? How was your experience there in that?
Are you talking to me? Are you
I
talking
don't
to
see anyone else.
Are
you looking at me?
You're looking at you.
Like, okay, so here's I tend to be the less emotional one of our group. If anyone wants to understand how the hounds, I'm extroverted, but I'm probably the most emotionally reserved of the group. I would like to say, I think it's a fair assessment. Here's the thing I think about mental health and the ability for us to communicate our core thoughts and how we are feeling in moments, is that we have to understand that we trust each other to even share those types of emotions with one another, right? And I think fundamentally now, I think as each generation has gotten older and more experienced in life, whereas when we were all in our 20s, you guys, when we were millennials, sorry Patrick, when we were the millennials of back then, we were considered young, foolish, or we thought we had the world, we knew it and everything. I think life experience happens, right? And whereas older generations, I'm a Gen Xer, I don't mind saying it, we were taught very similarly to the boomers, right? You hold that stuff back, you hold it in. We were the latchkey kids. If we wanted to cry about something, we cried to ourselves, after digging into a big old bowl of peanut butter because no one was home to feed us, right? You just become self-sufficient because it is a shared experience that we are going through culturally. I do think now with the Gen Zs coming up on board, they're all about being in tune with emotions. And I agree with what you were saying, James, before, which is, look, if you're just going to cry about your challenges, that's okay. Live in that moment to cry that you've experienced something. But at the same time, don't wallow in it, right? Understand that you're experiencing this for a reason and take whatever lessons you can. Yeah, you're going to cry, own it. It's okay. But what are you going to do next? And that's where my head is. And when it comes to the way we've got extremism and the way we portray mental health, I don't care what party side you're on. You guys, my comment on that is, who owns the money flow? Where does the money ultimately go, right? Follow the money trail, because either side extreme viewpoint will always sell, because you're always going to get people that want to argue with each other, to be distracted away from the task at hand, which is ultimately how the hell we're going to make ourselves better as individuals, as a society, culture, all that good stuff. So that's my answer. And he's telling me to smile. Mike, you asked me these questions, young man, and I'm just telling you the truths.
I wasn't telling you to do anything. I was talking to people in comments, but yeah, you should smile, young lady. That's why you fell. Hey, that's why you fell on your keister day. Remember the Wizard of Oz? You better be nice for somebody drops a house on you too.
Okay. If you guys really want to know, and I wasn't going to share it, but I'm going to share it. I'm going to share this because you know why? It upset me. That's how dead the shoes are, you guys. That's what I fell from. Wow. That's what broke. That's why I fell on my freaking ass.
Probably because it was made from a waffle iron. Did you see that, guys? Did you see that blue waffle iron in there? Like, they are hollow shoes, man. It's like my daughter's got some like little play shoes.
Well, You know that's how shoes are made, but okay.
No, I don't know. I never made shoes. I don't have a shoe shop in town or anything. Horse and buggies, yes, but shoe shop, no. All right. So
I've never tore my shoe in two to see what's inside either.
yeah,
Junk.
I was going to say she's got junk.
All right.
Like she's beautiful.
She don't even have a car. She fell out of someone else's trunk. That's what. Anyway.
I
All right.
know.
So,
And a tough one.
all right. What the hell were we even talking about? Is anybody following this, or is everybody
Yeah.
joking?
Yeah.
Hey, we have some great questions though that came up that I really do want to ask that was actually addressed to our wonderful Soaring Prophets men.
Excellent.
And one was from Janice.
Mhm.
If I could find it now that we've been, wow, there's been a lot of comments. You guys have to like scroll and find it again.
CJ said, "Go fund me for Sia's shoes." Oh wow.
Nice.
Oh look, Melissa.
I won't
Houston.
say
Oh,
no.
wow.
I'm so bad. You guys, I hate shoe shopping. So
Oh.
yeah, if you wants to like buy me a personal shopper to buy for me, please do. Thank you.
To answer that question, I'd say our friendship has gotten deeper, if anything.
Well, wait,
the
let's read the
fact that
question. James, let's read the question.
Oh, okay. You want me to?
Yeah,
with
with
your
your
different.
different outlooks, conservative versus liberal, is there anything that has changed because of your friendship via the podcast?
Yes. Yes. If anything, our friendship has gotten deeper because we have separate viewpoints. We don't always disagree, but and we find out we have more common than like if you think about family, if you think about love, if you think about helping each other out, if you think about Pat is the first one to lend his truck to someone to help someone out. For God's sakes, a couple of weekends ago, he drove me to the lake with his boat, unhooked it, put it in the boat, and then drove away and went to work while I sunned myself on the boat all day. Then came and picked me up. We agree on so many things, but it's the stuff that we disagree that gives us a deeper understanding of each other. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. And I think it's very enjoyable when we're interviewing other guests because we come from it from different angles. We get a deeper kind of feeling of who they are. Wouldn't you say, Pat?
Yeah, so now that you've done with that bullshit rose-colored glasses, well, so my opinion is I do tend to be a little bit more tinfoil hattish, and I will take that on. And a lot of that is my worldview because, like Sia was talking about, is I'm very much follow the money. I've studied macroeconomics. I study micro. You can ask me about different things that are going on in the world, and my viewpoint comes from where the money is, why the money is, all these things that's going on. We did a whole segment on Elon Musk when he was buying Twitter. People were like, what the hell's going on? Why would this guy want to overpay for this tech company? What's going on? And we laid it out and we looked at, these are the options. This is what he wants to do. This is what we think could happen. What's really behind it? And when you follow the money, you just have that extra layer of like, that makes sense. Like I say, I'm a little bit more tinfoil hattish, but James is also one of my best friends, right? At the end of the day, we laugh and joke and we shoot the shit. We bug each other. We have so much fun. And now we're bringing these third-party guests in. They get that little snippet of it. They get to tell their story. We get to ask these really cool questions and go from there with them. And it's awesome. It's Thursday nights. It's a great time. 9:00 Eastern. That's our shameless plug. Check it out. And
like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Send money if you want.
Yeah. Subscribe. Where's the GoFundMe for that, guys?
We're currently looking for sponsors if anyone wants to sponsor us.
There you go.
We'll sell anything.
They got to sponsor me first.
Where's my pillowcases?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hey, that pillowcase is no joke. Like that's the problem. Like I wait 3 months after everybody else, and then I'm like, oh, I should have done that. So, wow, like there's so many subjects I can't even figure out which question to ask. Did we have another question in the
What's going to get us canceled? Let's do that one.
Let's do the one that'll get us canceled. That's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well,
we've danced that little dance jig a few times in the beginning.
Oh, dude. So like, how many episodes have you all done yet? Because you're fairly new, right? So about how long have y'all done this?
I can't even fathom how many we've done. So it's been about a year and a half, year and a bit.
So we just went by a year. I know that it seems
Yeah.
so much longer that you've had to deal with me, honey, but
I know.
we're on like 60 weeks, I think, approximately where we are right now. Now,
Mhm.
we've done a lot of nights like this where we're doing an interview with you folks. Tomorrow we've got 2 before our Thursday night live. So they become a little bit kind of prophetic in the way that they come across. There's just a ton of them at this point. But you know what? At the end of the day, Mike, we've had interviews with some wildly impressive individuals, right? And take somebody in your family, take a friend of yours that you're just kind of like, you're really kind of a cool person, and then give them a platform to tell their story with, you know, an opportunity to kind of drive that home. It's kind of unique when you have that opportunity to let somebody shine their light. And that's what this is all about. It's been really cool. And we've enjoyed all. Yep. It's Care Bear Stare. Can what's the Lion Heart? Can I be that one?
That's
you
no
wanna be
Michael
Lionheart?
Gale's Lionheart.
You can be grumpy.
Michael Gale. Got it. Cool.
You can be grumpy.
You'd be miserable.
I still got some of his original toilet paper roll right here. Michael Gale, I appreciate you showing up today, bro.
What I think is most amazing about this stuff is that, you know, that's exactly our path. We linked with Michael Gale, who led us to you, Mike, who led us to Sia, that just blew up into 100 different people. So when we first started, I looked around me and went, well, I got a buddy who knows Reiki. I'll put him on. I have a friend who wrote a book. We'll put her on. And that's how we started. And then we started asking them to give us, you know, who do you know that's interesting? And we had just this amazing publisher called Lisa Browning, and it exploded on us. And it's these connections, these people that we find that are lifting, like literally lifting themselves up and lifting other people up. And we surround ourselves with those, like Sia always says, all ships ride with the tide. And that's what's happening with us. Like, I get a couple of emails a day that, you know, you have to interview this person. And every time I'm like, I can't wait to interview that person. Yeah. It's so exciting for me.
Hey, Dean LeBay, gosh, man, that guy, if he hadn't already been on your show, yeah, that'd be all these folks would be good. But Dean said, hey, does the word prophet, does it have a spiritual relationship or meaning?
Yeah. So for me, again, we're both spiritual people. We're both Christians. But at the end of the day, the prophet in Soaring Prophets comes from kind of the Soaring Prophets of PROF, prophets as in business prophets. But there's also the prophetic nature of what we're doing, going out and spreading some words, spreading some very interesting stories and tales. As much as I live, you know, my life, I believe in God. I very much live that life myself. That's not my job to go out and evangelize. And that's something that we had chatted about, is how far do you take that? And my job is that if I can bring people into an interesting dialogue and conversation, hopefully my spirituality can maybe shine through that. That's where it ends. But that's where the prophets aspect side of it comes, is that prophetic nature of what we're doing in spreading that message. Yeah,
we had several names. We went through a bunch of them. In fact, we branded. We came out with a totally different brand, and then we switched to Soaring Prophet. We were really looking for a word that met my motivational side and his money side, and prophet just came to us, and it was beautiful. But as for the spiritual stuff, yeah, we're both very spiritual. We both go to church. We both believe in, you know, raising each other up. But no, we're not evangelists. We're not trying to push a message. But if you want to ask us questions about it, or someone comes on and wants to talk about it, we love to talk about it. I do have a few videos so after I go to church, sometimes I get inspired by the liturgy, and I will say a message in my car. We do little card remotes sometimes just on our YouTube channel. So there is that, but mostly it's mostly about people raising other people up and their stories, and very little to do with religion.
Yeah, and that's evident when you watch the show. And this is what I kind of see another, again, maybe great resurgence in, is just because I believe a certain way, or I have certain faith, or I, you know, whatever, why does that automatically make me an enemy of other people? Right? And then I've never, for example, and I want y'all's input. I like Sia's input on this too. So when I ran the nonprofit, we were literally in the back. So most of it was originally started by churches, right? So the churches want to help people with food and financial assistance. So when I took it over, we're literally behind the mosque. pay $1 a year of rent behind the mosque. So,
Wow.
you know, look, I pulled all these different people, religions, everybody together, and boy, you thought I'd done some bad business,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: what was our mission? It was to help people. It was a humanitarian thing, right? And if you didn't like people in the mosque, you're in the wrong place. You should go down the street or something, right? So like that kind of stuff, I never understood it, and I've seen other people do it. Like we're
Mm.
human beings, man. We all have issues, and honestly, if you want to show a good example of what you believe spiritually, live it. So
Yeah.
stop talking about it and actually show people what it is. And I think
Mhm.
that's the problem. So what is your experience with that? Like, did y'all ever have issue with people going, I don't want to hang around you because you are spiritual or that? Or does it
Well, so
really make just a better discussion?
yeah,
Every once in a while, we'd have a debate in a bar. We'd talk about religion. We were talking about a Catholic school once, and that got pretty heated, and people got very angry with us because they felt that Catholic schools had no place in the system. But on the show, no, not really. It's mainly off the show. But I've always been a firm believer of, I think if your religion spreads love and happiness and joy, and you're helping other people, then go do it. It doesn't matter. I had a priest once tell me when I was in high school, and I've always kind of seen religion that way. He said, if you look at a painting, say a Picasso, and there's like 50 of you in the room, and you write down what you get from that painting, all 50 of you will have a different story. It's not a different painting. It's one painting.
Right.
You just have a different story. And as long as your story is good and happy, I'm all for it. Sign me up. I just believe in one way. Your way is not wrong.
Yeah.
Not as far as I'm concerned, anyway. And I love you. I love you all.
Yeah, no, exactly. For myself, my last name is pretty Irish, and my people back in the homeland, we fought some pretty good battles over the last 100 years with the Catholic Protestant thing. And you know, in today's world, that's like Israeli Palestinian type stuff. Like they're bombing and shooting and killing on a daily, and that's not that long ago. Like we're talking the late 90s when they finally signed these treaties to stop killing each other in the name of religion. So for myself and for my family, my heritage, it's important to be able to reach across the aisle and have those conversations. And I have absolutely had people in my life that have looked at me and went, oh, you're that, you shouldn't be that. That's a problem. There's something wrong there. And it's wild, that discrimination. And again, I'm a white male in Canada, like as discriminated as you can be against, but it is. And it's kind of an odd feeling that in, you know, the late 2000s, where we are now, to have that as like a realistic thing. And I think we can all just kind of do better if we just kind of have that idea of reaching across the aisle and having a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, because regardless whether it's religion, you're either unifying or you're not. I mean, it's what's the motivation behind this, right? Like, I don't know. I've never. All right, I'm gonna be careful because I don't. But
Do it. Just kidding. Don't do it.
no. I've never made money like running around and trying to convert people to my way of seeing religion or spirituality. I've never. But if it's helpful or useful, I will talk about it, right? Like it's just like anything else. Where I was talking to somebody today, I was like, "Look, I've struggled with these issues. I've struggled with certain things. I don't run around and talk about it every day, but if it comes up, I'm not going to hide it,
100%.
right? Because that is a useful, selfless, intentional. Hey, you're not alone, man. There's nothing wrong with you. Look, let me help you. I'm a few steps ahead of you, right? So on that premise, because I like what you said about the Picasso, I want to hit on this a little bit. I want the audience and the people in the comments to chime. Even if we did see it all the same, let's say we saw the Picasso all the same, then we're all in different like maturity levels, right? Or different timings, right? And that's another thing. So even if it was the same, you're still going to see it different, right? There's babies, there's mature people, and so like, let me put it this way. How do you go about? I mean, so you don't shy away from it, but how do you, I guess, moderate it? Like, how do you make sure this shit don't go up the deep end? I'm trying to find a tactful way to ask this, because me and C has done that. We've been on there before. Some other hounds, like I've seen Lachelle. Lachelle tackles some really hard stuff in a really great way, right? Supermom, American Supermom. So how do you guys have you ever been in a situation where you're like, uh-oh, this is getting out of hand? Like we didn't know if it was going to go this far. Like, tell us.
I would say not with guests.
Not with guests.
It's mostly with James and I. But like for us and you guys all, you've been on our show, so you know this. One of the first questions that we asked when we get back there after we kind of do the howdies and we start breaking the ice is there a topic that you don't want to talk about? And it is wild. In all of the people that we have had, there is nobody that has ever said, I don't talk religion. I don't talk really X. Politics is the one thing that a lot of people will say, I don't know. No one has ever came on and said, I don't want to talk about religion. Ever. So I think in a lot of people's minds is that it is, you don't talk about politics. You don't talk about religion. You don't talk, what's the other one? Sex at the dinner table. Isn't that kind of the old saying? So I think that we sorry, Sia, what were you saying there? Was there?
I was thinking of a Woody Allen quote, right? Only if it's done really badly.
I was thinking the same thing.
I love it.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you look at our older stuff where it's just him and I yattering on, we get pretty heated and debated. But really, like Pat and I talk about this all the time. Our goal is if Mike comes on, it's the Mike show. If Sia comes on, it's the Sia show. The less we talk, the better. We tell our guests, you know what? Because every once in a while they're like, oh my gosh, did I talk too much? I'm like, no. If you there was this one guy, we asked him one question. He talked for a half hour. Loved it. Pat and I loved every second of it. We're not there. We're trying to raise everybody up. So we will give kind of slight opinions but they're mostly transitional. It's like, oh, we're summing up what they said, and then we're moving into the next question that we kind of have planned. I have planned. Less about our opinions because we want to know about the person there. Every once in a while he and I'll do just a show, just him and I, and that's when our opinions come out, and they come out like a firing. If you go back and look at some of our stuff, some of them are heated. But when we have a guest on, it's not about that. It's about them. I just really enjoy asking questions and exploring things that will share their story. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take this time for a shameless plug. If there's anyone out there that's watching and checking this out and listening to this, and you've enjoyed the way that you've heard this, like I said, Mike and Sia can obviously attest to this. Check us out. First of all, if we haven't scared you off at that point, QR below us there, Sia's got the hand action going. Get in touch with us. Connect with us. Get in touch with us where we can have a conversation about what you do, who you are, what you're representing, products, businesses, services. Our goal is to get you into a position where you can become a thought leader. That is our whole plan. We want to give you a platform where you can come out there, have a clear and concise dialogue in a friendly format. What could be more fun than hanging out with a couple crazy Canadians, right? So let's do that. Get in touch with us. And again, that's my shameless plug. Thank you for having me.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
No,
I love it.
It was great. No, and I loved it, man. It was probably the most. It felt like I was on a roller coaster, like in a good way. Not the wooden ones, the actually good ones that strap you in, right? So I loved it because it felt like it took 10 seconds and I didn't want to stop. And people were engaged in it, and you guys are great hosts, man. So
thank you.
Unless somebody's got a question, I don't want to keep y'all all day. But so you've done this for about a year, right? When was it? And just elaborate however you want. What was the most inspiring? You know how we did this show, it was kind of okay, and then all of a sudden it was like, holy cow, man, this is so. What was that holy cow moment? Oh yeah, we're going to keep doing this even when it sucks and I'm tired and it's not convenient. This is where we should be. This is the impact we have. Who wants to tackle that?
I'd say we've had a few. For me, it was Bob McCabe. He is a recovering alcoholic. He was as a young man, a very young man. He was abused by a priest very significantly. And not only did he recover from that, he also recovered from being an alcoholic. And he noticed other men suffering because men don't talk. And so he started this online group that's called Speaking Recovery Initiative. I always get that wrong. And it was all about lifting other men up. And he just keeps on working. In fact, we had a business meeting. The three of us, we were doing some videotaping, and he was just about to sit down to a meal, and he got a phone call from one of his guys, and he said, "I'm really sorry, I got to go. There's a man in trouble," and he left. And that's just who he is. He's always been that way, and that is inspiring to me. Is those kind of stories of how they have created. They've gone through so much darkness, and out of that darkness, they created something that's going to just help others to also get through that darkness. It's like they drew a map. They're an architect. They're an explorer, and they've gone through it, and now they're reaching back into the darkness and saying, come on with me. I know the way, and I'm going to show you the way, and we're going to do it together. And that probably was the most inspirational. But there's been so many, I can't even count them.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, again, Bob McCabe was one that really hit home, and it's one of those things that, like we talked about the faith pieces, that one was a very difficult conversation.
Yeah.
Because I've had conversations with people in my family about, the church, and whether you're a Boy Scout leader, whether you're a hockey coach, football coach, when you're a person in that authority and you take advantage of that, that's a problem. But when you're a religious leader and that happens, that hits differently. And the way that I had it explained to me to Bob is that God was violated for him. And that, man, like, that is powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. And after we had those discussions with Bob, he ended up inviting us down for a shoot in a studio where we interviewed a number of survivors. And that was an amazing experience. But we've had individuals that are ultra runners, marathon runners, and like, that's enough in itself. These people run hundreds of kilometers, but we've had 2 individuals that are blind that do this. From an athlete perspective, that's wild. But like, not even just that. Not even are they just ultra runners. Not even are they blind ultra runners, but they have to build a community to support them through that process and that endeavor, and they do it. And the ability to bring people together. You guys want to talk about building a community? These guys do it to run 500 kilometers on a broken leg. One of these, right?
Yeah.
These people, the stories that we get and have with our individuals are amazing. So, like, Lisa Browning is probably one of the ones that was really influential for me because of all the stories that she brought with her. And Lisa Browning is a book publisher out of the Guelph area, just west of Toronto here in Canada. And this is a woman that has literally touched hundreds of people's lives. All of their stories have kind of ran through her. And she's been amazing for what we've built and what we're continuing to build, the people that she's brought on, the ability for her to be able to take someone's like worst day, right? Their worst day, the experience, whatever had happened, whether it be death, trauma, just wild adversity. And she just listens, lets you tell your story, and then is like, we can build something out of this, like this beautiful package that you'll have for forever. And if you sell and it becomes a bestseller, maybe you retire off it, right? But it's really amazing when you see what these people are doing, and they're in your backyards. Like, these people are in your backyard. You just have to wake up and look for them. They're there. They're everywhere. And that's what we're doing, is we're showcasing them.
I think that was one of the things when, before you guys joined the Hounds, I remember telling Mike afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with these guys. And it was a little odd. No joke, you guys. A couple people are like, you're supposed to be happily in a relationship. You're a little obsessed with them. And I was like, with good reason. Absolutely good reason. And I love the fact that you guys are sharing stories of people that maybe aren't listened to, right? They don't have enough big enough profile, or they don't want to play the social media game to be visible, to go viral, to do that. So what you guys are doing is beyond amazing to me, and I have nothing but absolute profound respect for. I mean, you guys are such badass that I have another deep question to ask you. Now, are you guys okay for this?
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, are we ready for this? Because
maybe
because this might set off, I think, a debate. And I just want to be, before we get canceled, I just want
we are shy.
Full disclosure, this came from Japan.
Ooh.
Oh.
So that'd be an individual named Mark Lee.
This is a very, very deep question.
This is a very controversial question. What's the deal with poutine?
It's a delicious treat that everyone has to try at some point in their life. It's potatoes and gravy and cheese curds, and sometimes you put smoked meat on it. If you go to Quebec, that's probably the best place to get poutine. You get all kinds of assortments of poutine. I know Pat's not a big fan, but it's deliciousness. And also it may cause cardiac arrest right away. It's a thing. I'm just saying.
So poutine, I'm trying to think what would be an equivalent in the States, right? There's just something uniquely Canadian about poutine, and we've been branded that way. Like we create hockey players in poutine. That is what we have to offer the world.
And
So
bland bacon.
what's wrong with bacon? What's wrong with our bacon?
Bacon's
It's
amazing.
Canadian bacon. It's just saltless bacon. Go ahead. Sorry.
But like we call that pea meal. Do you guys
Pea meal
call that
bacon's
pea meal?
amazing.
Wait, what?
Pea meal
We
bacon.
have like Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
Like when I go down to the States and I order a Canadian bacon, it's like a sandwich or whatever. It's what we call pea meal bacon, and it is like cornmeal bacon. Have you guys ever had that? No.
How do you spell that?
P-E.
P-E-A.
No, it's
P-E-M-E-A-L.
P-E-M-E-A-L. P-E-M-E-A-L.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like ham, I guess, would be it's like someone's taken a ham and put cornmeal and salt, like salt, so much salt on it. And then they cut it into these thick slices, and you fry it up like you would bacon with your eggs, and you put it on sandwiches, and it is probably the most
That
delicious
is heaven.
It
That
is
is
heaven.
fantastic.
It goes
bacon.
on burgers. It
Yeah.
goes on
Penile.
burgers.
Penile bacon. Yeah.
Now.
I'm not the only person. That's all I'm asking, peoples. That's all I'm asking. And you guys just kept going with it.
So for the poutine stuff, we've actually had franchises, whole organizations and companies that have developed around the Canadiana of poutine. And these are they're popping up like McDonald's is everywhere.
Yeah,
Now,
there's one downtown here that's
Is it weird for you guys to put gravy on fries?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
oh.
It depends on like how drunk we are in the South, I guess. I mean, but
That is kind of
it's not
poutine.
something we brag
Poutine
about.
is like that 3 o'clock in the morning, nothing's open. I'm gonna go grab fries and grease.
Mhm.
That's
I mean,
what-
it's
that's
good.
why
Out
every
here,
Canadian-
we eat Long Johns when we want to do something bad out here. It's like
It's like fried mashed potatoes and gravy, right? And then with the cheese curds on top of it, right? It's delicious. I'm actually like
All right.
my mouth is watering. It
So
is delicious.
cheese is all melty, and it's squeaky cheese because it's that
Mhm.
cheese curd.
Curd.
And gravy is always like a really good gravy. There's actually we have a place downtown here that has 130 different kinds of poutine. You name what you want on it, and they make it. Yeah, there's some scary ones as well, but some of them are delicious.
So when you say
Alright.
scary, are you talking about spicy?
Spicy, very spicy. Like if you went to, I don't know, purpletonguehotsauce.com and checked out Michael Corvair. Am I saying it right?
There.
Oh my god, he's your friend, you guys.
Corvair.
Or-
Yeah, if you check him out, he has the hottest, deliciousest sauce ever. I can't wait to taste it again. I have a
Really?
whole box of it at home. Yeah, I'm pretty
Really?
excited.
So I guess I'm a little confused on that when you say it's delicious. So when you say hot sauce, because like no one thinks of hot sauce and Canada being of that genre. So talk to me
shots
about that a little bit
fired.
more, Goose.
Are you saying that our Canadian hot sauce isn't as good as your American hot sauce? Is that what you're trying to say?
Not saying it's not good. Not
Oh.
saying it's not good, but you know what it's making me think of?
Shots fired.
Shots fired, with Sizzling Summers.
Yes,
What a
Yeah,
segue.
yeah,
I like it. I
yeah.
like it. Teamwork makes the dream
All right, who
work.
wants to talk about it? You talk about it, you boys, because we met
Let's
our good
go.
friend Purple Tongue Hot Sauce for you.
Paula
Yeah,
Dean is
I,
watching, or like Guy Ferrari is watching this. Go ahead.
So we met Michael Corvair through another friend. I met him. I was at Beer and Taco Night, and he was there. And I went up and I started talking to him, and he was just like, he was full of personality. He knew a lot about sauce. It wasn't just that he was selling sauce. He actually created it in his laboratory, which is in his house. And so we hit it off, and I just had to have him on our show. So he came on our show, and this man had a great bingo business before COVID. And that was taken away from him by COVID and, all the decisions that were made. And instead of giving up, like we talk about victimhood, which he could have, he built a monstrous hot sauce company out of nowhere called Purple Tongue Hot Sauce. And he is just a wonderful man. So we were doing this podcast, and just before that, we had met Sia and Raquel, and they were watching the show, and in the comments in the background, they were talking about doing a contest of some kind. So we decided to get in on it. And it's grown a bit. We have other podcasters that want to get in, and we're going to do eat some chicken wings. We're going to watch Pat cry. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. There are 5 levels of hot sauce, starting with 2, going all the way to level 8, which is off his scale. Like it's a 8 out of 5 is what he has. But no, I've had a few of them. They're delicious. They all have taste and flavor. There's one that's like a maple kind that's delicious. And I can't wait to see Pat cry. That's really why I'm doing it.
So Jackie, her post there is no hot sauce for me, mild all the way. So I've said this and it started off as a joke, but now it's like really hitting home in my home life. Like mayonnaise is spicy for me. So the thought of doing an 8 out of 5, like there's a pretty good chance that I'm not looking forward to the 28th. The 27th looks like I might get through it. The 28th is going to be a problem, I think. So,
Hey, this is
on
why
the 27th.
this is why you didn't have me on, because y'all know the Rednecks can handle this. And all I got to do is take a Zyrtec or allergy medicine, and I dominate. That's why I wasn't there. So I understand. I won't be needy, great baby, greedy baby. I would just destroy the whole thing.
Hey, needy baby, greedy baby, you can absolutely participate. I told you you're round 2, as in this was first round of advertisements, and then we're going to do another round next week and say, guess all the additional creators are going to join us. So we have a certain individual from Japan that where is he suddenly quiet? Mr. Mark Reed, where are you, Zen Sandwich? Yeah. He's going to be joining us. So Mike, you'll be joining us. And where's Chris? Chris, we're going to get Todd over at Walking Tall Movement to join us. Wait. So this is going to be a part. And Jody Lamb, she's already not joining us, but she's joining us. Yeah, anyone else that wants to participate, there is a link. And Rocky, if you can get that link into the chat for me, you can buy the same hot sauces we will be trying. And we'd love for you all to join us together. So, they say what power in numbers.
I love it.
So you guys, let's do it. Let's make it a sizzling summer. And, let's make it and it is truly international. We are internationally tasting sauces together. So let's do it.
So I have to shoot back
That's
here.
The only guy I was worried about. That's the only guy I was worried about, because he's over here drinking that sake and eating that spicy fish and stuff. Yeah, he might give a redneck a run, man. We have to see. Go ahead. Sorry, there's a delay on my end now.
Well, no. So I got Tammy Fisher here throws into the comments. I got to rebuttal this. She goes, "Oh my God, I'm so disappointed, Patrick. You're white bread. I like flavor. Flavor's lovely. I don't want to die after a meal. Like when you go in and you eat and you're just like, I don't want to do that. There's nothing about that that's fun, that's friendly. No, I will handle flavor. I don't want to melt into my seat. That is not part of a well-balanced diet."
You gotta understand. Okay, you gotta understand something. I grew up Thai, from Thailand. We had a meal. If you weren't crying during the meal, we just didn't have a good meal. It's that heart racing. It's that heart racing of energy and excitement. What's that thing it's called? Some tocin or whatever. Come on, it's a great rush. Ugh. Live a little.
Yeah, and Mike's sauces aren't all about the heat. Like the Purple Tongue hot sauce, they have a lot of flavor. It's like a flavor heat, not so much just like a burning hot sauce.
So it's not the bomb, is what we're saying. Is thank God, because that's disgusting.
No, it's not. It's so tasty.
And by the way, I think someone in Portland, Oregon, in the He's is trying to represent, because right now Constance is the only West Coaster. I was trying to get my other counterpart not on this, Ben Baker. He's like, hell no. So Susanna, we need you and Janice to represent Oregon, you guys, because I know you guys can do it.
No.
Oh, Tammy has a response to you, sir. Oh yeah, she had to do.
Nice, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, hey, I'm gonna spoil it here. Sia is also the one to worry about, because she's the one that walked into the polar bear plunge water in February without blinking, and I could hardly do it in April. So yeah, when it comes to mind over matter and falling out of Ubers, she is the queen of that shit. So bravo, lady.
Oh yeah, it was like, I think it was what, 45 degrees, Rocky. I think, can you tell me? Yeah, I think it was 45 degrees in the water. And yeah, we did it. Ooh, it felt good. I liked it.
It's awesome.
Oh, dude.
That's what our lakes are sitting at now.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to some like Viking music or something and get my like head all up in the middle. I
Oh,
can't just do it. You just like walked in like it was nothing. I'm like,
it's such an amazing.
yes,
I did it in January in Halifax, and it was amazing. Right into the ocean. It was beautiful. That you feel so
Oh man.
exhilarated after and so alive. You know what? These experiences that push your like just on the weekend there, I jumped off a crane to do a bungee jump into the water. It was beautiful. Anytime you do an experience that pushes you, it
Let's talk about that jumping off a plane, James.
Not a plane. I haven't jumped
I'm
off a
sorry.
plane yet, but someday. Crane.
But the bungee,
Yeah.
I sorry. Well, how long was your bungee jump for?
I have no idea how high it was. A couple 100 feet, I would guess. I'm not sure. What would you say, Pat?
Oh, it looked like a good,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say meters, so like we'll convert this to yards.
Sure.
But, like you're a football field, 70,
Yeah.
80 yards.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And I jumped off and went sailing. And to tell you the honest truth, I was just reacting. I don't remember anything. It's up on Soaring Prophets. If you want to watch it, you can watch the whole jump. I do swear in it. It's the first thing I do when my brain realizes that I have left a platform that is perfectly safe, as Pat always says. I do remember, like, if I don't jump now, I'm never going to jump. So I did right away jump. But that's the only moment I remember really is that moment of my toes are over the edge. I'm looking down and it was far. And then
Yeah.
I jumped and then everything else was reaction. I went, so my head went in the water first and all the way down to my waist. And then I popped up way up into the air, about halfway up into the air, still screaming. And I you know what? It was very expensive, but it was something that I love doing. I do with my best friend, Mike. And next we're going to jump out of a plane. So stay tuned. It's going to happen within a year or two.
So I have to ask because I saw that video and I thought it was cute because they cut it short. You go and jump, and I could tell it was you. It was really funny because I'm like, that is him. That really is him. But you jump, and then I hear this, and then your friends all chuckled.
Yes.
They had zero empathy for you. They were totally like, so just want you to know you have great friends.
So 2 of them were my children. 2 of them were god kids, and then my best friend, Wendy. Yeah, so
Okay.
I think they were laughing because I was swearing, like and it echoes off the canyon that we were in. So it was probably very funny that I was, screaming the F word as I was plummeting to my not death.
Well, but okay, so about that though, you hit water.
Yes.
Like when I watched it afterwards, that was something that I'm like, is that supposed to happen?
Yes, it was. They ask you, do you want to hit the water? I'm like, oh, absolutely. I was not anticipating like my nose being a scoop as you come straight back out and filling completely with water. So that was not fun. But I'm all about motivation, pushing myself. Every year I try to do a little bit more. I got my first marathon coming up in October. I'm always looking for the next step. I don't ever want to settle ever again. I was a big fat man up until 2016, lazy as lazy can be. Computer games, drinking, eating bad. And now I'm fit and now I can do things and I'm going to take on the world. I'm going to do whatever, every time someone comes up to me and goes, hey, you want to do this? You want to jump off a crane? Let's do it. I'm in. Sign me up. Let's go. You want to run a marathon?
I love that.
Absolutely. Let's do it. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm in.
Well, how about, okay, real quick on this, speaking of suggestions, what about the spicy maple syrup? Have you had that yet?
I have not tried the spicy maple syrup, but I hear it's really
I'd
good.
like to.
I can't wait to try it. Maple syrup is one of my favorite things.
So Larry, the Purple Tongue Hot Sauce is a company that was one of our guests actually on the podcast. And that's kind of what we do. Again, is we give people this platform and then, we meet up with Sia and Mike and they decide to, hey, how can we work like this, right? There you go. Sia's got hers there. But yeah, so for us, we are just in the beginning processes of trying all these products and going from there. But this is just a company that we've chatted with, had a conversation with, and that's our goal. We want to shine some light on what this guy's doing. His amazing COVID story, like his story. Go back and watch his interview. This is a guy who literally had a beautiful family business that I had for years. The government in Canada, and for you, those of you, I know you guys all went through COVID down in the States, and whatever your COVID views were, we were hammered. In Canada, everything shut down. It was wild. It was very different. And it was very much government controlled. You have to do this or you're in trouble. So in the gambling world, you had a bar, you had, you know, an entertainment business, you had gambling revenues, where in Canada, that's all controlled by the government. Down in the States, you can do that. You can hold those things very differently, but they're all licensed here. So this guy was literally over a barrel. He had no hope. He had no chance, and he pivoted. And he built this purple tongue hot sauce out of a necessity, a passion that he wanted to do. And here we are now. We're going to burn our asses off. Well, me on the 28th, and you guys maybe on the 27th. So.
Well, let me just tell you, the pineapple soy, CJ, our resident genius doctor, ate all of it. Like, she has to rebuy.
What?
She already poured it all. Like, she used it. She's like, she swears by this one.
Nice.
So anyone that wants pineapple soy, and by the way, it's only a 2 out of 5 peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So if you want to try that deliciousness, and for the next one, it's I'm really kind of excited. This one, stout barbecue. Like that, I think is gonna be really
I
good,
would
you guys. So stout barbecue is
say
the next one.
The 2 is kind of like red hot sauce, whatever it's called. What's that one?
Oh, are they?
Put that
Okay.
stuff on anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next one's honey garlic. So who doesn't like a little sweet with a little heat,
Mhm.
right? Little sweet and heat.
Yeah.
And then this is where now then it goes to oh, how cute and delicious too. Now it's gonna done straight up,
My ass.
mess with you.
Mm.
Yeah, and this is a Atolfo mango.
Mm.
I'm kind of nervous for this one because all the mangoes I've ever had, they don't mess around. Mango's sweet, but it ain't like Rocky sweet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then this one's the straight up one, the Atolfo mango. But this is like the 8 out of 5. So you guys order that link that we have, join the challenge there, and it will give you all of these 5 sauces, and you can have it with us. And it would be so much fun, whether you want to have it with tofu, chicken, steak, fries, whatever. And for those in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I am actually trying to do a joint eating party together. So if you guys want to meet up with me, we can definitely try all these together. So,
Amazing.
and then you can cry with us together.
Yeah, or swear. And
No, we said we weren't going to swear. We're going to say fluffy duck. And I don't know. I have nothing. Son of a sea bass or something? I don't remember.
Son of a sea cook.
Sea cook. That's it. Yeah.
What
I've
the
been
hell
working on
happened to
this
my
thing.
show?
Oh, sorry.
Mike, are you still here, pal?
Hey, how you doing? Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to Soaring Prophets. It's nice to meet you.
No, so I already got my short clip because y'all turned my show into a broken speak and spell convention earlier, and nobody even caught that. So I'm gonna make sure I blast that. That's gonna go viral on YouTube. Number 2, everybody's talking about butt crevice. I pretend to know the inside joke, but I really don't. And number 3, I don't even know. Like I'm it's bedtime. So first of all, I'm just joking. This is fun, man. This is what it's about. I love having fun. I love people here. Nobody cares what damn time it is when you're having fun. It only sucks when you're actually having to do something you don't want to do. So, man, with that being said, because I do have the Hounds tomorrow, I have the open house, and I can't wait for that, man. That's what, like, how many people can I find like y'all faster? That's all, but it's because all boats rise, man. The more people that come in, the more opportunities those folks have to be seen and recognized and visible, right? And that's where it's about. So you guys never have to go run around looking for people of quality to promote and talk to and learn from, because best kept secret, we get a lot of coaching for free doing this, man. Like there's thousands of dollars of coaching that we do by interviewing these cats, man. So don't tell nobody. But that's what it's about. If you want to be seen, and here's the fun thing. Let me put it this way, because somebody asked me, they said, why are you doing this? Why you don't charge for a lot of this? You don't charge people to come on the show and be in the Hounds. Well, no. And the main reason, and I'll always do that, no matter what, even if we did one day, there'll always be something of great value. Here's why. Because the missing component in any business, but in my financial or even LinkedIn, a lot of that for me is I want to make sure there's trust established first. I want to make sure there's great value and trust, and you know exactly who the hell I am and what I stand for and what I'm about. And if you're in the Hounds and you're doing that and you want to go to the next level, you don't wonder if I'm going to be able to perform, because you've already seen me do it for free for 2 months, right? Like, so I love the fact that people in here, and it's not just me, man, there was some massive business being done that I had no clue about till like 3 months later. So shameless plug, but by God, this could be a game changer. It has been a life changer for lots and lots of people, and we want to open that up to more hounds. There's stray hounds running around, and by God, we want them to find their pack. That's how I look at it. So let me ask the audience this question. Let me ask you guys this last question for the audience. Super question. All right. What is your best advice for someone feeling stuck, man? Because that's really what we're about. And it could be, and this is not just for someone that has a dead end job who's 22 or something. This is about somebody who is like you, Patrick, or James. You know, you had a revelation in your older age, right? 30s, 40s, like me. What is your best advice? If they feel stuck in a job, business, doesn't matter. They lack confidence, but deep down, it keeps them up at night. They might try to drink it away. They might try to distract it away with TV. What do you say to them? Hey, what do you give them that advice to make that baby step that you took?
James.
It's on me. So what advice I'd give you is that you need to take a quiet moment, get rid of all the distractions, put down your phone, get away from your family, go for a walk, go out into the forest and think, and really take in your own perspective on the world. What were your dreams when you were younger? What are your dreams now? What is it that makes you happy? And start finding a way. Like, if you love making pies, as Pat always says, you can do that. If you love helping other people, there's a way to do that. And you just got to find your niche in life, niche in life. And really, as long as you're moving forward, you don't have to give up everything. I haven't given up everything. I still work 2 full-time jobs. I still slug it out every day, but my passion is Soaring Prophets. From the moment Soaring Prophets starts, I knew that was my passion, and it's my driving force for everything I do. I just enjoy it so much, and my life has become so much better because of it. And if you can get out there, you need those quiet moments though. Like, if you're trying to find out what you want to do in life, and your phone's attached to you, or your TV, or your family even. Your family is a huge distraction. You got to get away, get out into the forest, and really take time to really take stock. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you hate? What is it that you love? And make a plan. Find out. There's a path to what you want to do. You just got to break it down.
Dude, hey, I know you're not full of shit, because I've had those. I finally had that hard conversation with and it's a hard, scary, nasty, we try to avoid it. That's why we do what we do. That's why people do all kind of things to avoid that. But stop running from whatever the hell it is. Face it, ask the tough questions. And again, you're not alone, man. That's why I go to Sia. Even I had a problem the other day, and my wife said, call Sia. I'm like, oh, that's not smart. But it's exactly what the hell I needed, because that's the dad advice I'm going to get from Sia, right? Like, hey, I feel you. It's good. But, now it's time to stop being all sad and pity party and get the hell up. And I love it, man. So you're dead on. Great advice.
So I was gonna say how bullshit that was, and what a James answer that was. Back in touch with your feelings and your emotions, and then here's Mike jumping all over it. Bullshit. Go take massive action. You want to change your shit, go do something different. You can go walk in the woods, you can go do that stuff, and I appreciate all that. There's days you got to go do that, but you got to go take massive action. You got to say, you wake up that morning, and the old aspect of pull your shit up by your bootstraps, you got to go do that. Every time I have had something in my life where I've had a massive pivotal moment, I've built businesses, my real estate business, my investing stuff, all of that sort of thing. When I have dove into them, it is one day I woke up and I said, I was about to swear, I'm done. What I'm doing right now, I'm done. And I got to make a massive action. I learned how to buy real estate properties. I learned how to invest in the stock market. I learned how to take a small portfolio and built it up into multi-6-figure income. These are things that if you sit at home and you just walk into the wilderness, you're going to keep walking. You got to get in touch with people, and you build your community. You learn from other people. Take massive action.
But did you have a plan? Did you just take massive action, or did you build a plan first and then act upon it? Pat, you did. You took that quiet moment and then you built a plan. That.
Where's the bell? Look, hey, part two. It's like Rocky versus Apollo Creed. That's what the hell is going to happen next week, maybe.
So you're right. But you've got to figure out why you are where you are, and that you're not happy. So James, you talk about, and you hit it so well, man, the fact that, is it about X? Is it a trauma you had in your life? Is it a relationship that you're not happy with it? Is it a situation and an addiction? Something's boiling your butt. Where are you in that? And then you got to go, how do I fix it? And when you fix it, you don't have to solve it all in an afternoon. But if you can realign your pole and decide that's my new vision, that's my new path, fuck, things just tend to fall into line.
You can't not swear. You're absolutely right. I agree. Mike, I just want to say, bud, before you cut us off, being part of the Hounds and being on your show and having you with us has been an absolute delight. You and Sia are a wealth of knowledge. You've helped us out so much. You've lifted us up like you lift others up. And I couldn't imagine another group that I would want to be a part of. You guys are so supportive, and every time you guys comment on the things we do, it's love, and it drives us forward. And what you've built here, Mike, is revolutionary. And I hope that people watching get that, because you know what? There is no Soaring Prophets without the Hounds right now. There really isn't. You have lifted us up.
Damn, man. Dude, I thank you. I just wish you said it earlier before everybody left after that Etch-a-Sketch bit you did. But no, I'm joking, dude. Hey, we feel the same about you guys. And again, it's not just a love fest, man. This is real shit that we're talking here.
Yep.
Even see us, every now and then, throws a Care Bear stare out there, and that's hella progress, right? So, yeah, dude, that's it, man. Come join the party. Show up tomorrow, Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. All of our friends across the pond, I'll give you access. Don't worry about it. But all boats rise, right? So see, it's still there for me, even though it's been around forever. You guys are amazing. Love your. Yeah, you did.
Fight,
yeah, but,
fight,
hey,
fight, 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 fight.
I'll call an Uber.
Okay, so don't make me. Don't make
Let's see this.
No, but honestly, okay, so if I could just interject a little bit here, because one of the things that has attracted me to all of you guys in general is the fact that it's relationship first.
Mhm.
And I like that. Yes, we're all on LinkedIn. Yes, we're here to make connections and all that stuff, because ultimately, at least I know for you guys, we still got to eat, people. We still got to make an income somehow, somewhere, somehow, right? Like, so yes, I get the Soaring Prophets isn't designed to do anything more than just simply you guys just had a great epiphany and you're just highlighting, like, with your Care Bear power stare skills. But ultimately on LinkedIn,
I love that. Like, I just love the Care Bear power stare. Like, what you guys have built with that, I love that.
I'm gonna make shirts.
Yeah.
No, right. Well, we're gonna get sued. I gotta be careful there. But that being said, is like, I absolutely love the fact that it's relationship first, because you know what? And I've said this before many times. It may not be a primary relationship. So like the four of us here, we might not refer each other at all for business, but guess what? I might remember what you do to secondary and tertiary relationships. And that is the one that matters, is because you guys, I literally launched my business in January, basically starting over after separating from my partner. And you guys, I am like all over the place because of the Hounds and everyone like you guys going, you need to talk to Sia. And let me tell you, I'm so grateful for it, but it's proof it works. You don't have to sell your soul in social media algorithm game to do business and build genuine relationships. And that's why the Hounds matters, and it's different. Right. That's all I'm saying,
Definitely.
kids.
Hey, did you say that we were going to get sued by the Care Bears? Is that what the hell you said?
Well, my Care Bear power stare. And then also, as a female, sometimes when I go like this, it's kind of like wildly, like, maybe offensive to individuals. So I got to be careful.
You got great wings.
Dude, like even if Oprah and Papa John's, like the Care Bears, dude, I would put that on my refrigerator so quick. Like, here's my cease and desist order from like Lionheart.
Oh, totally.
So anyway,
I think they're Mattel, you guys. I'll have to Google it. I'll let you know. Like, there's nothing that tickles me more than to get sued by major corporations. I'll let you know.
Vicious litigators, teddy bears.
As Pat says, sometimes bad news is good for you too. So if Care Bear starts suing Soaring Prophets, might not be a bad thing.
As long as the actual suit wearing bear is there. Like that's the like, how do you plead? Well, hell, I'll plead guilty. You show up, actually throw a star at somebody. Shit, like I'm good with that. Like I'm gonna take a picture with you before I go to jail. Can I do that?
Like that.
Anyway, all right.
Right on the
Hey,
bear where he touched you.
What? Hey, Tammy said we can't be Care Bears. It's trademarked, so got to pick a different animal. I'm like, well, what about the hounds?
Care hounds.
Well, see, then I'll accidentally say Huckleberry, and then we'll get in trouble again. So, like,
Yeah.
I just don't
We
need to
got
talk.
it.
Maybe I just need to draw pictures, show them. I don't know. So, hey, we had fun. Everybody has fun. I think it's past the care. Whatever's bedtime. So, hey, you all had fun. And round two, tell us in the comments later on. We'll see this. Do you think there should be a round two? Actually, I think we should get a referee's shirt and put these two in the corner and promo it like like Apollo
Day.
and Rock. And so let's all have fun. Hey, show up tomorrow. It'll be a blast. It'll be the shortest time you've ever heard me talk. I promise you. So at least just show up for curiosity's sake to hear me talk less than 50 hours. But hey, appreciate you guys. Love you all. You really make this special. Soaring Prophets, man. Love pushing you guys up. Want to see more of it. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you on the next one. All right. Round it up. Roll that outro. Love you guys, man. Next Wednesday. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.